How about this one for you? From AmericanPress.com, Biden halts all new oil and gas leases. From Wednesday, February 23rd, 2022, reported by the AP. The Biden administration is delaying decisions on all new oil and gas drilling on federal land and other energy-related actions after a federal court blocked the way officials were calculating the real-world cost of climate change. What were you saying? The green guilt and Greta Thunberg.
It's a hijacked idea, and nobody, I don't think at this point, denies the fact that humans have an influence on the climate around them.
Right.
But this idea that everything we do has to be like renewable and this and that, it's a ruse to undermine all of these things that make us fiercely independent. This country can depend on itself. We have everything that we're a unique country.
Right.
We have everything that we need within our borders to be completely self-reliant, and somehow we are not.
I think we're missing lithium.
We're on the verge.
We have Alaska.
We are facing down full-scale ground war in Europe. Like, there is legitimately a ground war in Europe right now, the most significant we've seen
halting oil
since
and gas
World War II.
domestically.
And Biden's like, oil and gas, we don't need it.
That should be something he rubber stamps at this point.
Yeah.
Until further notice.
Yeah.
We have
a conflict on the horizon. Ramp up the machines at home and get ready to at the very least, flex your muscles. Biden's going to look at Joe Biden flexing his muscles and laugh at this point.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I gotta say something.
Biden might be looking in the mirror and laughing.
I gotta say something that's probably controversial.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to make a lot of people angry.
No.
But Donald Trump was a better president than Joe Biden.
But there are no mean tweets.
That's right.
I'm just talking about.
I thought about it, and I was thinking maybe the mean tweets were worth it.
Maybe it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Energy independence.
There are a lot of things that I disagree with Donald Trump on, but he is unequivocally a better and stronger, and I think stronger is really in terms of this topic an important characteristic. He is a stronger president. He projects strength in a way that Joe Biden, I don't think, ever could. Nor Kamala Harris, or nor really anybody on that roster on that side.
But I got to get a little real with it. It's not hard to be better than Joe Biden.
Right.
No. We're not setting the bar extremely high.
Right.
I thought Trump was great about not falling for this kind of global agenda of corporatization. Like, he got us out of the Trans-Pacific Partnership within like 2 weeks of coming into office. He saw the danger of allowing our citizens to be sued by corporations because they didn't want to discriminate. They didn't want to buy Malaysian oil. Like, we're sovereign citizens. We don't have to bow to a corporation. That was early on World Economic Forum stuff. I think that what's happening is that there are corporate powers that are putting countries against each other so that they fight, and then they can fall apart and be like, hey, see, national governments don't work anymore. Let us come in and say, I told you guys this before the show, let us come in and save you with our corporate benevolence.
Yeah.
Look at
this.
I want to pull this story from the AP. Biden halts oil gas leases amid legal fight on climate costs.
Stab me in the eye.
Russia just invaded.
Oh my
and this
gosh.
is February 22nd. When they were screaming Russia was going to invade Kiev.
We're talking about climate cost.
And he was like, well, that little Swedish girl yelled at me, so I think cut off the power.
Oh my God.
I'm flabbergasted at the people who voted for this man.
Even with this stuff, what beyond the headline, because it sounds nice to your bleeding heart, social justice warrior. What does climate cost actually mean?
We don't know.
In that discussion.
I think the assumption is that too much carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is going to cause a greenhouse effect, which is going to cause superheating. But
so we should be worried.
That's the worry.
We should be worried about the shorelines disappearing more than we should about a possible European invasion from Russia. Like that's the calculus that
potential
we're doing.
Invasions are preeminent in forefront, I think. But you should not be focusing on how bad things could get, but how to fix the problem, which is the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere.
I just got to step in and say, we've got the potential for total nuclear annihilation in the immediate, but we're looking at that clock about climate change.
Environmental danger, a nuclear bomb going off in the atmosphere.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's like 10 million years of this stuff.
Those two words are essentially meaningless. Climate cost. It's meaningless.
The American military is like the biggest polluter in the world. The amount of crap it dumps into the oceans with its Navy and its Army is like if it was a corporation, it would be the largest polluter on Earth.
I'm sure it probably is, and we're not even high. We're not even up there on the list of the people that we're talking about in this discussion. Russia, China, these are polluters of the world. These are people who don't buy this climate cost nonsense. And granted, China does a lot of things wrong. There's no acceptance of the way that they do things coming from me, but we are worrying about climate cost when these people are worrying about taking over entire countries.
It's like what Ben Shapiro was saying. We're going to sanction you, and then you can't use the bank. And Putin's like, I want to rebuild the empire, and I'll kill anyone to get my way.
Exactly. We're not even having the same
Hold
discussion.
on, we need
But
to
you can't
paint
buy
the
that car.
windowsill first. We want to make sure there's a bow on it before you do it. And he's like smashes the wall out of the way and is like, come on.
I saw this
Let's build
story.
a wall.
I
Build
saw
a
this.
house.
I saw this story the other day, and I'm like, my immediate thought process was shut down the show, shut down all of the work we're doing. Timcast is over. I'm gonna go buy a coconut, sit back, put my sunglasses on, put my feet up, and be like, it was fun while it lasted.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to milk as much time as we got left, because baby, we are going downhill from here.
This is absurd. Our priorities are, and again, it's not to say that these things are not important, because I'm not one to just spit into the wind, because that's what you're doing when you're ignoring the effects that you do have on the climate. However, we need to have some prioritization of what is important and what is not important, and we've got it seemingly completely upside down.
People are going to vote for the Democrats. In November, there's going to be a midterm, and it's going to be close. The Democrats could even win. I just
Not Andy Kim.
If you show this article to someone and you're like, Russia invaded Ukraine, Biden decides to stop producing oil and gas, how are you the party of Vladimir Putin is an existential threat and Trump was colluding with him, and also let's shut down our energy production? It's like the people who are like, we don't like the government has all the guns. Let's ban all the guns.
Yeah.
Except for the government.
Yeah, except for exactly. Well,
I'm so ready.
That's kind of par for the course at this point. Coming from that side. It's the movement of doublethink and mental gymnastics, because somehow to these people, when they go to the ballot box, it makes sense to them.
I'm going to buy a machete and a bunch of coconuts, and I'm going to sit downstairs and I'm just going to machete open those coconuts and drop a straw in there and be like, I'm done.
Well, before you do that, I have to say, I will say that I had not seen the term climate cost before, and that is really interesting to me because it is super vague. It strikes me a little bit as
how's that calculated?
It strikes me as anti-racism. This is one of the nebulous goals that Black Lives Matter is fighting for. What is climate cost? When will we know if we achieve this goal? What is the goal?
I think
Is there an equation?
The opportunity cost of loss of like the climate getting hotter.
Who's calculating this?
Yeah, exactly. And if they're linear calculations, they're not accounting for change in the progression. So if you develop a new technology that can recover the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and turn it into graphene, it dramatically changes the direction of our models.
And I think it's been clearly shown, at least to my understanding, that of all the things that we can factor in to climate cost and climate change, we're only accounting for a quarter of the things that actually come into play. So this equation that we're basing domestic policy on is not a very good one.
Yeah, an asteroid could completely annihilate the surface.
Yeah,
that's climate change.
Yeah, again, you have to prioritize, and this is pure. This is par for the course of what we're seeing. What do we prioritize at home? We're prioritizing, all of these ludicrous agendas. Meanwhile, our country is legitimately falling apart from the inside.
I can't imagine that the U.S. can survive something as insane as this. I mean, we're talking about our energy infrastructure. And we're not just talking about that. We're talking about that plus war. When you're a country that cannot put aside, long-term climate goals to deal with present emergencies, existential crises, you're doomed. I mean, it's like the United States is looking at Russia and they're like, we would rather die than pollute the air.
That's essentially.
Well, then you will.
That's essentially what that headline reads.
Yeah.
It is so strange to me that people who can't ever think past stage one are now thinking so far into the future that they can't look at an actual possible nuclear war and be like, oh, maybe we should put this on the back burner for maybe a month or two while we figure out.
Just a little while.
Yeah, just like an actual.
Just turn them on until we get this situation under control, and then we can resume that less important discussion.
Yes. I can't believe that.
Yo, I don't know, man. What's going to happen? Aliens are going to invade and
Yes,
then
please.
force
Save
humans.
us.
Oh yeah, I think
to save us.
the solution is meditation. It is prayer and meditation.
I don't know. I heard
Thoughts for Ukraine?
Wilcox-
Prayers for Ukraine?
Yeah, and then silent mind. You do the prayer of healthy or whatever you want to pray, and then absence of thought for as long as you want.
Alex Jones told me that if you you do DMT, you can speak to the machine elves who will grant you the secrets to the universe. So
Let's do it.
maybe they're going to help save all of us from
I think
whatever
so, because
stupidity
I'm
is.
trying to find a conventional way to fix it. And it just keeps getting worse and worse and
Bro.
worse and worse and infected and more black mold and like
right.
It's
There's-
got to be some psychoactive solution.
No, there's rumors already that they've already been shuttling out prominent, high-profile political figures into bunkers. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. But
In Ukraine?
No, in the United States.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if
Well,
it's true or not.
Trudeau
Just
ran away from
rumors.
truckers, so maybe I'm
There's-
not surprised.
Perhaps, but there's rumors going around that some flights have left and they're going to areas with underground bunkers. I don't know if it's true. Maybe it's not
I
true.
hope it's true. If we're
Exactly.
literally on the
That's-
verge of potential chaos, we need our
war
political
is,
leaders.
war is
safe.
happening.
Do we?
I know. I hate
Do we,
saying that
though?
out loud, but yeah, we do.
No. I'm not
We
talking
as an
about,
American
I'm not talking about our
citizen.
president or anything like that. I'm talking about just like prominent,
Congress.
high-profile individuals getting ready for war. And no, if our leaders are going to bunkers, it's a good thing. You don't want your king standing out in the field, just
true.
like waving, like I'm the king, I'm in charge here.
I wouldn't mind Joe Biden standing out in the middle of the field right now.
At this point, I was wondering, is Kamala Harris a more competent leader?
Could you imagine Joe Biden on horseback, like leading the charge?
No, can't.
That'd be cool.
You wouldn't be able to get up.
That'd be wild.
I wanna-
They tie him to the horse.
Yeah.
They used to do that.
I got a
Weekend at Bernie's.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.